Good morning, everyone. Give me a second. The air kicked on, so I'm going to close the window. Perfect timing. Okay. All right. Yeah, people doing the first call before the stream starts. It's like, should wait till the stream starts. Okay. So I'm trying to remember what. Get the notebook out. Okay. I didn't put it on here either. Of course I didn't. Well, that's unfortunate. I can't remember what I called the new world here, and I know I've named it. So I've got to go back through 365 pages and find where I named it. Hooray. But yeah, I hope you guys had a fantastic evening and fantastic night's rest. I'm just cycling through now, trying to find it all. I can't believe this is one of those funny things where it's like I can't believe I didn't have that marked somewhere. I just can't believe I didn't do it. There it is. Alright, good. I knew it started with an A, but I couldn't remember it. Good God. Alright, found it. Just go and get out of here. Alright. Okay. Simple and Euclid? I don't understand the difference between the editors. I started going back to my World Anvil thing. I'm going to start trying to fill that in more. Got a question, Dragon Man. If I donate the rest of my bounty, 161 minus this 5, when could you get to it? Well, it wouldn't be unfeasible to get to it soon. I'll have to do maybe a little bit of testing to make sure it works. Yeah, we should be able to get to it. Look up some stuff. It's for which one though? Was that PS2? I think it was PS2 when it started, right? Yep, PlayStation 2. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, we shouldn't be too bad. So I'm pretty sure I already have the thing for it. It's SNES 9X. GZ. Nope. Where is it? I swear we had it because we were doing something else on it already. I just need to find it. Oh, that's the handheld one. That's the GameCube one. I know I have it. I know I have it because we used it for something. I just have to find it. But yeah, it shouldn't take long, honestly. But here, I'll go ahead and, while we're thinking on it, I'll go ahead and add your 5 here. Alright, there we go. I wouldn't have been silly and gotten rid of it, right? There's no way. I say that, but I don't see it anywhere. Okay. Why did I get rid of it? Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's not a problem to go get it again, but still, it's just weird that I ever would have gotten rid of it to begin with. All right, well, I guess we can do that in the background while we're working on everything here. So that'll work. Yeah. So let's just pull that up and we'll get that started right now. Yeah, because this is the exact one I use, the PCSX. Alright, well. Strange. But you know, it is what it is. Okay. Put it on there. Fantastic. Alright, anyways, chat. So I've got that on set and good to go. Yeah, like I said, it shouldn't take too long. Anyways, what is this back to school thing? Go away. It just keeps popping up every few bits. Okay, so I'm not allowed to do that. Got it. Alright, create. Okay, let's start with gods and deities. Oh, Lord. This is the first time I've ever used World Anvil properly. I had one started for Sakara. I haven't started one here. Good God. Is anyone here familiar with World Edit or knows how it works properly? Keeping it on this, by the way, I'm keeping it on this screen specifically so we can just chat and have a talk and everything like that. Library, that was for character portraits. Read the Learn guide to the article. Okay, well, let's do that. Between public and private there. Oh. Oh, good. It's nice and tricky, just like I like it. Great. Oh, it's fantastic. Nice and tricky. Okay. Right. I guess we're just gonna start with let's see, Gods of Everall. Oh, it looks so derp. Just underline it a bit, just make it look a little nicer, I guess. So we've got Sangris. I need to put Meraxis in there. Oh, fuck. Need Olander, need Hexathus. What else do we need? Document processing. Takes a while when you have this much. Okay. Let's put Masandra in there. I'm going to put it above Meraxis. There we go. I guess we could alphabetize this properly, right? This is gonna get complicated as shit. Alright, it's fine. It's fine, though. That's what it is. So dumb that I can't use PayPal to super chat? That is pretty dumb. Oh my god. Dude, World Edit. You need... Or sorry, World Anvil, you need to stop having this back-to-school flash sale thing pop up every 10 minutes. That's incredibly infuriating. Okay. Okay. I don't really want to talk about anything else because that will spoiler the shit out of things. But those are the gods so far. Is there a way to heading to heading to? Unless maybe we should alphabetize this, right? Yeah, probably need to. Okay, there we go. What's this? Insert table. Man, I have no idea how this system works. That's gonna mess me up. Anyways, I suppose what should we talk about? Again, we're quite deep into the book now. We're actually getting to the point where I might go back and start going through all the other chapters and cleaning them up. They'll get a little bit fatter. They'll be properly spaced and everything. So that might function. So the page count's going to skyrocket, basically, if we go back and start properly editing everything. Right now, it's all kind of a mess. Let's see, if we start all the way back. Here's what it is. Yeah, chat, I guess while we're here, and I'm trying to figure this out, how are you guys doing today? Are you guys having a good day today? Oh, that was on sale before? Oh, I should have picked it up when it was on sale. That's unfortunate. Awesome. Good lord. My email, man, my emails have been brutal. I'm gonna keep up on top of that more. Okay. Update from Wayward Realms. So they started on their production timeline now. Fantastic. Alright, fantastic. It's awesome. Started replaying Soma, almost done with it. Once I am, I'll be trying out a handful of custom story mods. Nice. Oh, speaking of custom story mods, Baldur's Gate 3 with its mod support, and apparently you can easily unlock the actual internal editor, so you don't need to just use their editor, you can use the official game editor where they made everything with. So now you'll be able to create custom campaigns, everything, do cutscenes, cinematics, all that stuff. Which is pretty fucking neat. Holy shit. Can you imagine if Baldur's Gate 3 goes the route of Neverwinter Nights, and they just get a ton of people that just start putting in their own custom campaigns and shit like that? Ooh. That would be fantastic. They already have multiplayer to an extent. If they figure out how to break the multiplayer and allow for way larger lobbies, imagine servers. Again, this is just total, like, hypotheticals, right? This isn't something that's going to happen. But just imagine, because one thing that kept Neverwinter Nights going for so long was that they had editor tools and systems like that, and you could set up your own server. And that server could play all kinds of stuff. If the Baldur's Gate 3 community figures out how to make a server browser for Baldur's Gate 3, using the built-in multiplayer system that there already is, that would be amazing. Because they already have the full editor and the full tool suite to do whatever they want. So you can do cutscenes, you can have cinematics, you can have all kinds of stuff, right? Cutscenes and cinematics, I guess the same thing, right? But you can actually create your own custom campaigns. Now, take the ability to have multiplayer into the mix, and imagine setting up servers where you could have, like, Sigil, the City of Doors, right? That was one of the more popular ones. I'm not going to say it was the most popular Neverwinter Nights 2 one. But that was one of the more popular ones that I was on. Just because it was fun. And because if the administration was on and you could go around and do, like, wacky stuff like start praying and giving praise to the Lady of Pain and see what the admins would do. We give glorious benediction to the Lady of Pain. Why is she killing us? I'm doing alright, Dimitri. How are you doing? Got a packet of salt, LMNT salt, so I can make some salt water here. Just gotta be careful with it. Because it's sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Potassium is the thing that reacts, obviously. Should probably be able to hear it here in a second. Hang on. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'd probably recommend the original as well. Hey Setch, have you heard the bad news? Nintendo is suing Palworld. I know Nintendo dick licking are happy. Yeah, unfortunately, Nintendo are being extra scummy this time, right? Nintendo didn't like the fact that there was an indie studio that made a game way better than they could for way less budget, and they got popular for it. So, Nintendo explored their options, realized they couldn't sue them for copyright infringement anywhere. They'd get laughed out of any court. So then what they did is they went and they patented a bunch of really vague bullshit and then added specificity on top of this vague bullshit so that they could then sue Palworld for patent infringement. Not copyright, patent infringement. A patent that came after the game was already out and released. So it was clear that this is just Nintendo trying to be dickheads. They have no actual grounds for it. If this was anywhere other than in Japan, and it still might happen in Japan, but if it was anywhere else other than in Japan, like, Nintendo would get an ass reaming for this. Hopefully the Japanese courts will realize how scummy this is, and they'll also give Nintendo an ass reaming, because they deserve it. No, they didn't. They didn't end the slightest, Threadnought. That's the thing. They had no case whatsoever. Even the ones that looked similar. They were different enough. That's all that matters. They had no case beforehand. That's why they even tried this. Ooh. Don't you do it. You hear that? No, you guys won't be able to hear that. Alright, that's fine. Trust me, if Nintendo had a case for copyright infringement for the Palworld Pals looking similar, they would have absolutely done it. Nintendo are notoriously vexatious. Vexatious. You know what? Vexatious is right. They are notorious for that as well. But they are infamous as litigators. They will go after people for the smallest things. Remember, they go after people for posting fan art of Mario, for God's sakes. Yep. That's the other thing, too, is people are pointing out Nintendo should really watch its fucking self. Because Nintendo has taken designs from other companies before, and I guarantee you, if Nintendo does actually do this, like, there are already other companies lining up to fucking can't say that word. There are Nintendos that are ass pound. There are already other companies that are going to ass pound Nintendo into the ground because of those patents. Nintendo has tried to be petty against Pal World and Pocket Pair because they were better than Nintendo in every way. And now Nintendo is drawing the attention of everyone else. So like the Dragon's Quest series, the Squeenix, everything like that. Everybody's turning to look at them like, oh, okay. And again, Sony might just be desperate enough with how fucked they are on how fucked they were on Concord to actually try and go for a legal victory against Nintendo. That's why Sony's desperate enough right now to do a remaster of a game that's not even 10 years old. They're doing Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. It's like, good God, they are absolutely fucking desperate. Concord, fucking kick them in the nuts hard. Hoofda. Man, it's amazing that these salt packets, how much flavor they add to your drinks. Really, really nice. Very pleasant. You know what they want to do if they want to make millions easily? You put Bloodborne on PC. This isn't a fucking hard concept. Sony, put Bloodborne on PC. Granted, you're losing the momentum because we've got the PlayStation 4 emulator. It's out and working. It's not perfect yet, but they're coming along quickly, and it was specifically done for Bloodborne. Those things are super tasty. I'm gonna stop sipping away. I gotta checking my emails real quick. All those cleaned up. I also need to figure out how to get how to edit World Anvil properly. If you guys saw on the Discord, but I did find some music for what a potential theme song for Miraxis would be. Neato. Okay. I don't know what CF is. I had a World Anvil account before, that's why. But it's looking pretty rough, honestly. What's CF short for? Campfire. Alright, let me look up campfire. Got a word processor to give you a place to write your story, making it one of the best apps for world building. We'll see. What is that? It's interesting. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at some of the sponsors for Campfire. Interesting. It also has like trending tabs for who's doing what. Proudly endorsed by these epic creators. A woman, a woman, a woman, a woman. I know who this creator is. Who are you? Hello, future me. Oh, interesting. Okay. You, Daniel Green for years. And there's Overly Sarcastic Productions. Ooh. I like that system. Hang on a second. No such. Nintendo owned the right to animals. No. It's patent. Remember, this is a patent lawsuit, right? Very particular thing. Okay. Oh. Shit. Okay, well, I think that's fine. Let me just do this. Yeah, it's nothing fancy. Okay. Create a new account. Check thy email. Nerd. Alright. Confirm email. See how this works. Okay. Hopefully that works. Username. We'll just do... I have to do that? No, I don't have to do that, I don't think. Okay. Also, never save passwords ever. Get out of here. Oh, they have a built-in dark mode. Thank you. Holy shit. Yes, please. When you say import manuscript, up to 25,000 word manuscripts. Import larger files with subscription starting at just $14 a month. Woo! Yeah, I'm not going to be able to import that. Fucking hell. Only 25,000 words? Good God. What are we up to already? Let me check. Word count. Oh, you know, just a casual 150,000. Yeah, that's not going to work. Oh, yep, that's not working. Okay, well, I mean, I guess we'll start a new story. His Majesty, Dragon. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Ugh. Hang on, Chad. I apologize. I will be right back. My stomach's doing the grumble rumble thing. Let's switch to the proper tab. We're back one moment. We'll continue talking, chatting. I'm just setting up this campfire thing to see what it's like. So yeah, because I want to see what the tools it offers in comparison to World Anvil. And BRB. Oh, it's awful, Chad. It's awful. Oh, okay. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, anyways. Um... Whew. Okay. We'll get, again, like I said, I'm trying to get through this, but it's asking for, like, a brief story description. Not much, Skinny. We've just been, chit-chatting. I'm currently signing up for Campfire. Abysmal apparently uses it, so I'm going to go check it out. I was working with World Anvil, but I'm not good at doing Wikipedia article style things like that, so I'm struggle busting over there. Trying to think of how to write like a back of the book blurb, right? You know, the little blurb you do for getting people to read it. That's what I'm just trying to think together now, because it's kind of what it's asking for here. Once it's your story's description, so I kind of want to do like a little back of the book blurb. No, we're not doing it like that. It's not. It's not good. It's okay. That's a little bit better. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. All right. So, pick at least one genre, medium, or age group. What the fuck? What the hell is new adult? I mean, it's more adult, that's for sure. What the hell is the new adult? I gotta look up what the hell new adult is. New adult fiction books are narratives that explore the transition from late adolescence to early adulthood. They're considered the next step after young adult fiction. What? What? What age group do you consider young adult? Hold on. It's literally the exact same age group. What the fuck? What? Yeah, but so what is the point of new adult as an age group? Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that new adult should not exist. Should just be young adult and adult. What the fuck? Novels and novellas, world. Okay, let's see. Fantasy. It's not really dark. There's some military themes in it. Yeah. Dark fiction would be more what the next book is. Not cozy fiction, that's for sure. So, dark fiction, dystopian would be the next book. I guess kind of action adventure. There's no real like kingdom building or anything like that. Doesn't seem so. Guess I'll throw a little bit of military themes in there. View warnings on projects with adult or sensitive content. What do you have there? Just generic warnings? Okay. Okay, so 14-minute read, campfire navigational tutorial, library tutorial, writing and collaborating in campfire. Ugh. Right. Okay. Open project. Oh. Okay, I'll show you what I'm looking at here, chat. Oh, thanks. Go give story spoilers. Damn it. Hold on a second. We're gonna fix that. I guess what was up on the screen actually wouldn't be that spoilery, so that's fine. Good. That's just somebody explaining the way magic works in terms of like creating clothing or creating items, right? So that one wasn't so bad. Okay, switch back over. Okay, this is what I'm looking at. Okay. Yeah, so I guess we'll create a character. Axis. And delete. Let's reach palace. Ew. Well, the mental illness mafia is all over this. Oh, God. Education. Bachelor's. I guess that doesn't actually matter that much. Alright, we'll get rid of that one. King. God. Oh. No, apparently it's a book writing thing. You know, actually, we could put these in the. Can we put these in the outer order? King. No. Just king. There we go. Okay, what other stuff can we put in here? Okay. Lights of fancy. That's a good way to put it. I guess this is kind of a little bit of spoileries, but here we go. Not deviations. What do we call them? We call them something. I call them something particular. Did I call them deviations? I might have called them deviations. Hold on. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Scroll back up through the chapters. Yeah, because all the ones that aren't him all refer to him as the true self. Also, Chad, I'll have to ask you, judge one of his threats he makes. Oh, I did call them deviations. Okay. Yep. All right. When he... No, probably not has. Okay. Man, one of the deviations makes the threat... because he's trying to get these two people to start talking to each other. Essentially, it's that whole like the usual trope that you'll see in a lot of creative works, where two people that need to talk to each other for one reason or another, they just kind of awkwardly stay near each other, but they don't speak or anything. They're just kind of there. They're hovering in proximity, right? Orbiting. I guess orbiting would be a good way to put it. And he gets so frustrated. He states, "If neither of you start talking, I shall begin to. I shall not cease until I am sure the pair of you are completely out of your mind and have found yourself motionless in a torpor." I just thought that was a fun way to make a threat. If neither of you start talking, I'm going to begin talking, and I won't cease talking until both of you are basically passed out and with your minds reeling. What? Oh, shit. Okay, did that. Alright, I didn't see that. Alright, delete. No, I can keep that. That's not correct? What? Oh, it's a Z. Always me and Z's. I just can't do it. No, that's correct. Okay. Let's see. I don't know one of his traits be. Actually, over analytical doesn't make as much sense, so I'm thinking about Meraxis. Doesn't make as much sense. Because I'm trying to think of a part where he was over analytical, and I can't think of a spot where he's over analytical. More so that, like, he's incredibly I guess pragmatism would be very pragmatic. Oh my God, fingers, please. This is what happens. This is what happens when you got little claws. Tippity tapping everywhere and you miss. Keyboards need to be designed for dragons, I swear to God. Whoever designed these keyboards sucks. Alright. Often approach situations in a pragmatic manner, not merely into ethical views. Nope. See, this is what I'm talking about. I need a dragon-style keyboard. No, I have the weirdest typing methodology. I don't do home row or anything like that. I do 3 fingers on each hand. So I have my pointer, middle, and my thumb, and pointer, middle, thumb on both hands. Very strange. I know it's very strange. It's the way I learned. And it wasn't taught that way. It's the way I learned. Very important difference. Because I should have been taught home row. And I was kind of. but I just was so much faster doing it this way that it didn't bother me. Yeah. Times. Ugh. Oh my god. It doesn't help. It doesn't help, too, that my fingers are too big. All the keyboards now. And the keyboards need to be smaller so that they can fit on the desks. I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Also, I don't have any thoughts on the Dead Rising remaster thing. The DRDR. Definitive Remaster, I think is what they put it as their thing. So they could have DRDR for marketing. Plus more fencing to those. Don't share his morals. Okay. Basically, this comes up especially... Deluxe Remaster, thank you. This comes up especially in the slave ship arc. Because remember, Meraxes doesn't argue against slavery in terms of moral or ethical questions, right? In fact, he argues the opposite. Because dragons are so superior, they should naturally be able to force others to obey them, right? But he says the problem with that is that that's very one-dimensional thinking. Because I'm strong, I can force the weak to do what I want. What he argues instead for is the pragmatism of being against slavery. And that slavery always negatively hinders your society in terms of advancement, in terms of economics and culture. Having it will destroy your kingdom as he likens it to having a noose and then sticking your head in the noose and just crossing your fingers that nothing will go wrong, right? Like, once you engage in the practice of slavery, you've essentially tied yourself to slavery itself. Your economy becomes interdependent on it. Your development becomes interdependent on it. Your capabilities to function as a society becomes dependent on it. So if anything should rock that boat, should anything hinder that, your society collapses. And that's where he argues for grounds against slavery, and it's more compelling for kingdoms engaged in slavery or for people that are adjacently employed through matters of slavery to take his side, because he doesn't argue for the ethical or moral reasoning of it, because different people have different morals, different people have different ethics, right? He's arguing from the pragmatic side of things. Yeah, exactly. And that's a good example of it, too. The South was so horribly undergunned, I think would be the good way to do it. Their technology was so less advanced than the North because the North revolutionized industrially and the South didn't. The South was tied directly to slavery. All of their economics, all of their systems of power, everything was tied to slavery. And again, as Meraxes argues for his reasons against slavery, is once you become dependent on slavery, your people, the laborers, become distant from their labor. So the laborers no longer think about how to make the labor better, right? You'll have a fluke of development when it comes to the South, aka the cotton gin. But that was not labor coming up with a way to make labor better. That was the owner coming up with a way to make more money off of the labor. So the labor did not improve. They didn't create like tractor pulls and things like that. They didn't create tractor pulls. What's a better way to put it? They didn't create like combine harvesters or things like that, or proper scythes and stuff, because they had tons of manpower, manual labor. What they also didn't understand was having to keep that labor fed, even if they were underfeeding them, right? Having to keep it all fed was also a burden on your economy, rather than having it be, hey, you're a laborer, you have to keep yourself fed, right? I, as the owner of this field, don't need to care about feeding you, because you, as a grown adult, should know that you need to spend some of your wages on money, or wages on food for yourself. Underdeveloped is a good way to put it, Dimitri. Yeah. Yep. And so that's how in the slave ship arc he is basically the slave ship arc. It's now kind of become the background arc. It starts out at the forefront when the first slave ship lands at Drakor, and now it's gone into the background because the Bloodline arc is now taking more of the foreground to it. And the Bloodline arc is also explaining what Drekargan is, which is the process by which a dragon is made from a normal being. Very painful, very terrible process, very low chance of survival. But unless you get help from people that know about Drekargan, and they can actually like work you through the process and actually keep you alive. You know what's interesting is Rising of a Shield Hero. I'm not talking about I don't know much more about the anime. I only watched like the first season, and then it started getting weird because I wanted to see where else it was going with it. But Rising of a Shield Hero actually had an interesting take on slavery, where the slave master, he wasn't like evil or things like that. He was just a businessman. Like, he didn't particularly want to abuse his slaves or anything like that, but he couldn't spend a bunch of money on, like, getting them super fat and well-fed or anything. He also had a pragmatic look on how to do business, and same with the Shield Hero. The Shield Hero, nobody wanted to be with him because of all the false rumors going around about him, so he had to use slaves, or a slave, technically, to be his damage dealer in his party. Let's see. What else with Meraxis? Let's see. Dragon's Rage. This is one of the things that Meraxis talks about as well. Again, in pragmatic terms, having anger and hatred are very beneficial things because they actually will they act as motivators, right? Rage, on the other hand, is not beneficial. Rage in and of itself is destructive, self-destructive as well. You no longer are thinking beyond the moment, you're in the moment in and of itself. It's blinding you to all other possibilities. Your mind immediately jumps to one track and only sees that one track. It can't think any other possibilities for any situation. And it doesn't matter what track your mind got to. It doesn't matter if it was the obvious bait or not. That is what it will jump to. Do you view gyrojets to be underrated firearms? Not really. They're interesting ideas about the gyrojet, but there's too many downsides to it. And especially being one of the ones the rockets can fucking explode on you. That's a fucking scary concept. But also the fact of if you're within a certain distance, they're completely ineffective. Not useful in the slightest, right? No, rage isn't even good in combat. Again, he explains why. Because you get tunnel vision. You get stuck in and focused. In your rage, you might be attacking one opponent. This opponent who might be calmer than you. He's collected. He's deflecting and he's parrying your blows. And another opponent comes beside you, and you're not thinking. In your rage, you just want to destroy this thing right in front of you. The immediacy of it. That's the problem with rage. Exceptional rage. Much to... of Dagrix. Experience is the same. And synchronous. Whoops. This should be right. Hey, no, it's not right. Fuck. None of these are really close. I guess we just put in sync with the Divine Dragon King. Consider it his greatest shame. Okay, there we go. The other thing is, when Meraxis goes into a rage, it is a truly, truly destructive thing, right? And, God, that's way too spoilery for what's coming up. Fuck. But essentially, Meraxis gets lucky when he goes into his first true rage. He gets incredibly lucky that there were others there to support him. When he goes into his second rage, well, again, too spoilery, can't talk about that, but he's not going to have that same thing. People are there to support him, but his rage is so self-destructive in this instance that he's actually pushing them away, and when I say pushing them away, I mean literally, using his magical capabilities to fling them away from him and everything like that, because he's so focused on exacting his hatred and rage and spite on his target. Let's see. What would be another one? So we got his flights of fancy, got his pragmatism, the rage that he wants, and he has to resist. Let's get one more trait. Maybe two more traits, because I was thinking of a couple that could work for traits to add. Maybe wrathful would be one. Okay, so this is like the thing that happens to Lagerol, right? Lagerol attacks Drakor, and it leads to the death of a few people, right? Now, mostly Lagerol gets its ass kicked because they weren't expecting the power disparity. The numbers disparity were massively in Lagerol's favor. Again, this is the battle where they had 15,000 troops, and Drakor could maybe get 1,500 out at best. And these weren't like troops either. They had, 500 footmen, maybe like 400 or so archers, things like that. No cavalry. Mostly they had mixed tactic units or skirmisher units. But the way Drakor fought was they brought them into a kill zone in these fields of grain, and a bunch of their mages were hiding inside the fields while their army, massive air quotes, their mixed units were up on top of a hillside. So basically, to the approaching Lagerol army, it looked like they were trying to use high ground tactics against them. Once the army pushed forward through the fields, that's when the mages revealed themselves and started causing devastation. The hillside behind the back of it were golems that were throwing massive oil barrels, some of them boiling, some of them not, and just throwing rocks and boulders and things like that. The center, all I had to do was hold, and basically it was like one big Venus flytrap. But after this situation, obviously Lagerol is now an enemy of Drakor. So what Meraxus does is he starts a campaign to destroy all of their infrastructure. Not any of their people. He specifically wants all of their people to be alive. And it's not because he wants to save life or anything, right? Remember, he's very pragmatic. He wants more people to be alive so that the kingdom of Lagerol cannot support the weight. He wants it to hurt economically and through their systems of feed and everything. He wants them to be devastated from losing all of their crops, their fields, their capabilities to have caravans, bridges, windmills. He basically targets their economy in and of itself and lets them suffer for it. And again, he can do that because it's the Kingdom of Dragons. They actually have air superiority. This is something you can only really achieve when you have air superiority. You can't really destroy all the bridges in a kingdom or all of their windmills in a kingdom if you can't get to them, right? But because he has dragons, they can just get to them. They can just go in quickly, little bout of fire, little bout of dragon acid, whatever, and the bridge is gone. The windmill is now destroyed and needs to be repaired, so now you gotta waste resources doing that. You gotta waste resources fixing up the bridges. Destroy all the roads, make them pockmarked and horrible to use, so now you either need to fill in all the pockmarks and roadworks, or you need to make new roads. Oofta. Yeah, so again, he definitely has a wrathful side, but he considers wrath a good thing. He doesn't consider it a bad thing. Wrath in his mind is like the perfect implementation of anger. You're making it cold and calculated, to do as much damage as possible with the minimal amount of effort. Effort, let's do effort or expense. Oh, big hand. I hate having big hands. Sometimes I swear to God. Okay. The last one. What should we put for one more? I think it would be a good one. I think something like not self-consciousness. Because he's not really spiteful. He finds spitefulness to be just petty, and he hates pettiness. Again, you have to have a reason why you do the things you do. He's a very pragmatic person, right? Well, pragmatic dragon. That's why he can't stand the little pettiness, the little awkwardness things. So he's very much against those who employ pettiness, which will be something a certain individual will find out soon in the books. Well, I say soon, probably another 100 or so pages. Yeah, he despises the ideas of pettiness and spite. Like, again, the thing he did to Lagerall, he did for a specific reason. He's trying to take the country out. It's a country that's an enemy of his country. It's a kingdom that wants to destroy his kingdom, so he's trying to destroy them first. Now, again, spoilery, obviously he succeeds, right? But he turns Lagerall into a vassal state after he takes half of their territory to bring directly into Dracor itself. But the same thing he's doing to Bavaria, right? He's trying to destroy Bavaria, again, not out of pettiness or out of spite. He knows that they're a potential enemy, but he also knows that they have tied themselves directly into the slave trade. Again, going back to the slave ship arc. So he's going to destroy them economically. Not through matters of like scorched earth or anything like that. No, he's going to use overflowing their coffers with coin. He's going to devalue all of their currencies. He's going to destroy the capabilities for their peasantry to actually function. And he does admit in his plan that Bavaria can avoid that fate if they do the logical thing, right? If they don't let greed take over, and they do the logical thing of then quickly dumping that wealth into the surrounding kingdoms, any of them they might have trade deals with or be on neutral terms with, or even friendly terms with, if they start dumping it into those other kingdoms and getting resources are always valuable. Always. Coins are not always valuable. If you have 1 out of 100 coins, that's a valuable coin. If you have 1 out of 1 billion coins, not very valuable. And that's what he's doing. He's devaluing all of their currency by flooding Bavaria with gold. Now, what this ends up doing is that it makes it so that all the peasantry can no longer function in that society, which starts collapsing their industries. Industries that normally peasants and serfs would be employed in. So things like farming, lumberjacks, woodworking, carpentry, all this stuff starts collapsing. And more people are flooding to the slave trade to get the gold rush, basically. They're coming in for the gold. But Meraxes is also making it by overinflating the value of the slaves using currency that cannot be used in his own kingdom. By overinflating the value, he is ensuring that nobody else can participate in the market. So Stormrend, which is a slave nation, it cannot buy slaves because it cannot afford the slaves. It can't pay a gold coin per head. That's way too much money for them. So it's making it where Bavaria cannot sell its slaves anywhere else if it needs to keep the gold coming in to keep up with an economy that's in runaway. This then makes it to where Meraxes will then shut it off. He'll no longer buy any slaves whatsoever. He wants to make it so that they're so desperate that they're no longer just selling lizardmen as slaves. He's waiting until he gets to the point where there are slave ships coming with no lizardmen whatsoever and nothing but humans aboard it that are being captured and quickly sold, or the prisons are being emptied out and stuff like that to sell them as slaves, because they're desperately trying to keep the money coming in because the economy is in runaway. And by this point, the other kingdoms know that Bavaria's economy is imploding because it has too many coins. So trade with these other kingdoms now is going to completely collapse because they're no longer want to go into Bavaria. They don't want to befall the same fate, right? Even though technically they could all weather the burden and all come out richer on the other side. They don't want to do that. They don't want to take the risk. Meanwhile, in Bavaria, they can't offload wealth downwards. They can't start paying the peasantry more because that will lose the wealth that they have now to try to stay in an economy that's in complete fucking runaway mode. So once Meraxes is sure that they are now desperate and they need his coinage, he's going to stop selling. He's going to stop buying. Now, again, he's buying and then freeing immediately. Well, on some of them. Early on, when they start doing intermixed cargo for the flesh trade, he will note that some of the cargo are prisoners, and, well, he doesn't got time for prisoners. If he can figure out what their crime is, which he can using the voice of domination. So, voice of domination is an ability where he can force you, if he keeps eye contact with you, to do what he wants. So he can force you to tell the truth. Like, why were you in prison? Well, I said I stabbed that guy. Did you stab that guy? I did indeed. Okay, execute that one. But essentially, they're gonna intermix a couple prisoners here and there, basically to fatten up the numbers so they can get more gold coins. But once he starts seeing that they're no longer offering lizardmen at all because they've gotten all of them, that's when he's going to cut it off and be like, nope. Now what do? You have a hold full of slaves. Do you go over to Stormrend and sell it for what you can get? They can't pay a gold coin. Uh-oh. You set sail to bring back 200 gold coins, and now you'll be lucky if you get 2 for your entire cargo. And that's only if Stormrend is even willing to pay top price that they would offer for it. Why would Stormrend offer you top price now that they know you're desperate? They're going to try to get them as cheap as possible. But, on the other hand, Stormrend is also desperate because they don't have any slaves coming in. So their economy has now slowed down to a crawl. So they're kind of like opposites, right? It's the opposite end of the reaction. Bavaria's economy is in runaway, and with hyperinflation is destroying all value and all currency. Whereas Stormrend is in the opposite, where the economy can't move anywhere. They're so interdependent on their slaves, they can't get out of it. So basically, both of these kingdoms have stuck their head in the noose, In Bavaria's instance, the noose went flying up in the air with their head in it, so now they're dangling in the air. And in Stormrend's instance, the ground collapsed out from under them, so now they've hung themselves that way. Yeah, so that's essentially what it is. And it's funny how much with this we come back to this, but I like using that as an example of his pragmatism and the way that Meraxes thinks about doing battle with other kingdoms, right? He doesn't think about it in as many terms of, like, I want my soldiers to meet your soldiers on the field of battle. He'll still do that. He's planning the invasion of Stalis, after all. But he would much rather prefer... What the fuck? He'd much rather prefer to destroy an enemy without losing anything from himself, right? If he can do it with just losing a little bit of sweat, he'll do it. That's why it's such a good example of that. Him taking out rival kingdoms, enemies, without having to actually risk any of his people. Because why would he want to risk his people? Again, it's not just for ethical reasons. He loves his people. He genuinely cares about his people. But he's also viewing it pragmatically. If my people are happy, if my people aren't injured, they're working, they're providing for the economy, they're doing things, they're trying to progress technologically. So again, he doesn't just do it because he actually has a connection to the people of Drakor, which he does. But he does it for the more pragmatic reasons of, a happy people are people that are advancing. Happy people are people that have a good economy. Let's see, what was one of his ones? I don't know if it's going to be brought up much, but initially he has, he's incredibly self-conscious initially, but that goes away over time. So I don't know if I would put that as like a personality trait thing. That's something that goes away over the course of his reign. But initially, he's incredibly self-conscious because he realizes Cortisoth knows his inner thoughts and desires and everything and why he wants certain things. And so that, of course, would be horrifying to anybody, right? Like, doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how normie you are. You'd still be horrified if some stranger knew what your innermost thoughts were. What that little voice in your head is telling you. Assuming you have that little voice. Because that's been a new shocking revelation in the real world. So if there are some people that don't have an internal monologue, that's absolutely terrifying. They're those people that can't answer the breakfast question. How would you feel if you didn't have breakfast? But I did have breakfast. That's not the question. How would you feel if you didn't have breakfast? But I did have breakfast. Oh, God. Oh. Like, I thought that was a... I just thought it was an insult, right? You're just saying that somebody's dumb. But no, it turns out there are people that are literally NPCs. They don't actually have that internal dialogue. They can't have a conversation with themselves. They can't have self-reflection. It's like, oh my God. Ooh. Exactly, Eldritch Dragoon, exactly. And that's what Merax is counting on. Again, he's counting on the fact that they are a slave trade nation, so they're probably more interested in getting the money than they are about, thinking of their economy truly. They probably just see it as a gold income source, as a way to get gold. Or what it originally was a way to bring in coppers and silvers. Maybe a gold coin for a really good slave trade. Now, these trade ships are bringing in hundreds of gold coins. So as you can imagine, when you get that much mass increase in value, your economy is just fucked. Unless you know how to counteract it. Now, if you're greedy, you won't counteract it. You will covet this new income of gold. You will relish it, and you will hold it close. You will flaunt the fact that you have more of it, not understanding that you are cuddled up to a viper and it's ready to bite. Which is what he's planning on. Now, in the book, obviously, it will work out for him in that regard. But I wanted it to be a thing where he also explains how they can save themselves from it. So that way it doesn't look like this is oh, of course it works out, kaikeku. Kaikeku means plan. No. It's not because he planned it that way, therefore it works. He's explaining why it can work and how this kingdom could avoid its fate if they do these steps. If they take these measures, they won't collapse. Instead, it will actually benefit them. But he also notes that even if they do take those steps, and he doesn't collapse Bavaria, right? It will still harm Stormrend. And Stormrend is an immediate neighbor, right? Stormrend neighbors his kingdom. And he does want to hurt Stormrend. So now, if Bavaria is smart, and they offload this gold to buy resources from the other kingdoms on the other continent will also get wealthier, right? And Bavaria will be more secure in its position. It will become stronger by having new resources at its command. It will still deprive Stormrend of slaves. Stormrend cannot compete with the price of slaves that are coming in. So now Stormrend's economy is hurting, which is what he wants to happen regardless. And that will happen regardless. Stormrend can't do anything about it. Unless Stormrend wants to do price matching with Drakor. Good luck. Again, Meraxes has been very meticulous in building his kingdom's economy. Very meticulous in building it. He's very much keeping up with the census of how many people are in his kingdom so that he can only allow gold to increase at a very, very small rate. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Grinus. What you thinking? Talk about that while I'm trying to think about this. Again, I don't think this one will... I don't think that one will be as useful because that one goes away, right? Alright, so... actually, we should just do this thing. I still need to come up with Patriarch for Dracoran in their actual language. Because I already got Snapdragon, which is Saw Dracoran. Oh! It's funny when you say that, Grinus. Again, they already have the coin house. Or the counting house is what it's called. That is so they have currency exchange. The counting house, what it does is it takes the foreign coins that they get from selling to Stormrend or Stallis or all these other kingdoms, right? And it brings that in, and then they will exchange for slightly less value than what the coins are actually worth. Then they'll take those coins and remint them. Right? So it's kind of a way for the kingdom to double dip. But what Bavaria will do, and by this point it will be kind of devastating, it'll be kind of a last-ditch effort, Bavaria will outlaw the slave trade entirely. Right? Bavaria, to save itself, will completely dismantle the slave trade entirely. You're thinking Loan Shark territory? Oh, okay, yeah, no, it wouldn't be like that. Oh. But then what they end up doing, again, they outlaw the slave trade. The Merchant Guild is already on board with this. The Merchant Guild, shockingly, were not a part of the slave trade. And it's because, Manfred explains it in the book, the Merchant Guild were very devout and dogmatic traders. One of the gods told the merchants that being in the slave trade was a bad thing, right? And they explained, not in terms of morals or anything like that, though they would have listened. Again, the Merchant Guild was very pragmatic. Or, sorry, very dogmatic. So they would have listened to the gods. But Manfred also is curious if this god knew that Meraxes was coming, or because he's talking with a man named Sam. Sam is explaining what Meraxes is doing, and why he's doing it, and the reasons why, pragmatically, why this system will collapse. He's talking with him, and Sam explains to him, and this is what makes him think, well, maybe the god didn't foresee the coming of Meraxes. He didn't foresee the Divine Dragon King wanting to do this method. Maybe he's just smart, right? Like, it makes sense that a god is smart. So it isn't that there was a prophecy or anything like that. He was prophesizing and foretelling the coming of Meraxes. No, this god, whoever it was, that was talking with the Merchant Guild, was just explaining in the same things because they're smart. They could figure out that this was going to happen too, and not to tie your economy in with it. Now, the Merchants Guild itself is going to get hurt severely in Bavaria, but they're more easily able to recover because they were never in the slave trade to begin with. That's actually how Manfred is able to even command a slave ship, because Manfred originally wanted to be in the Merchants Guild, and he wanted to be aboard the ships, but they wouldn't allow him. Especially once his conditions started to kick in. They wouldn't allow him to be aboard the ship, so he got blacklisted from merchant vessels. But he still wanted to be a naval captain. But he couldn't really do trade or anything like that because, well, he's not in the Merchants Guild. Again, if you're not there with guild business, you're going to get your knees fucking broken. So he's like, okay, well, I can't do that. I'll have to take dirtier work instead. I'll take the work that the Merchants Guild doesn't want. So that's how he becomes a slave ship captain instead. Which, most of the people in his crew, now it's not all of them. Some of them, like Vogel, really do believe in their own superiority, and they hate the slaves and everything like that, right? There's some people like that, but most of his crew in particular, they're there to do a job because they want to feed their family. This is before Meraxes starts flooding the economy with gold, but most of them are there because I just need to feed my family, and I'm blacklisted from the Merchants Guild as well for any number of reasons. One of them is their Sawbones. He is a very competent doctor and a pretty good carpenter aboard their ship. But he got blacklisted because, as he put in his own words, he was young and dumb and full of cum. And he thought he was the smartest guy in the room every time he was on deck of a merchant ship vessel. He was like, I'm the up-and-coming hotshot doctor. I'm the smartest man here. I'm going to be the best thing. And he constantly got in trouble for it. Until the point where they started lashing him against the mast. And he's, realized, I fucked up. If I had been a little more humble, if I had been a little less egotistical and full of myself as the young up-and-comer, I probably would still be in the Merchants Guild, and I would have a very comfortable life as a medical man aboard a Merchant Guild vessel. I would have made some decent money, but I fucked up, and now I'm blacklisted from the Merchants Guild. So I still want to do this. I still want to have my medical practice, but that black mark from the Merchants Guild will also affect me if I set up a business here, right? If he sets up a normal business as a doctor's practice in Bavaria, he's fucked. So basically, he joins Manfred's crew as a Sawbones for that reason. And he also explains to Manfred, remember, all the rest of your crew, not all of them, but most of the crew are here because they can't get work on Merchant Guild vessels. They're blacklisted for any number of reasons. And a lot of them are self-inflicted, but a lot of them are for petty reasons too, right? Maybe the first mate, he was a little too familiar with the captain's daughter, right? So he gets blacklisted from the Merchants Guild. Maybe one of the boatswain, the bosun, as the nickname goes. Maybe he was he was helping the crew out a little bit too much. Maybe there was members aboard the ship that were feeling a bit sick, or they needed something for their family. So maybe he helped give them a little few supplies here or there. And the Merchants Guild found out about it, so he's blacklisted. And basically, they're kind of like the rejects. Anybody that's doing the slave ships, they're rejected from the Merchants Guild. Yeah. Sorry for rambling on. I find stuff like this very interesting. And again, there are multiple arcs and everything like that. It's just that this is the one I think very clearly highlights Meraxes and his way of thinking, and how he views being the Dragon King of Drakor, and also eventually what also informs his thinking on how to be a god in and of itself. Because that's part of the book too, is that he becomes a god rather quickly. In comparison to everything else, he gets it rather quickly, but as Kortasov points out, he had actually kind of manipulated things to set it up this way. So his ascent into divinity was a lot easier, right? What about inclusivity and representation? Fuck them. You don't ever chase that shit. Like, only the most pathetic and inept would ever chase that stuff. And rightfully so, they also get lambasted, they don't do well, and they lose a bunch of money unless they're being paid by China, who's... Oh god, that gets into a whole thing about the Chinese helping DEI in other countries so they can destroy that country and then sweep in right in place. Very effective strategy. But anyways, so you have it where Kortasov admits that he had basically set up Meraxes to become a god. That was his entire point and purpose, right? Like, he wants him to actually get this, and then most of the books, and well, most of this book and the other books, is basically like, okay, congratulations, you're now a god. It's not all cracked up to be, is it? Yep, China. So, for anyone that doesn't know, China is the one that is bankrolling DEI, right? It's the one that's bankrolling this ESG, all this nonsense, all this leftoid NPC nonsense. They're the ones doing it because they know it doesn't work. And they're doing it because they want all these companies, these Western companies, to fall into the trap. And then, once these companies fall into the trap, well, now that that company's burning, crashing to the ground, we'll have this other company, totally unrelated to China, we swear, but usually we'll have Tencent and stuff like that involved in its board somewhere. They'll sweep in and they'll fill the gap. Basically, they're self-sabotaging, or they're not self-sabotaging. They're making Western companies self-sabotage so that then Chinese companies can swoop in and fill the gap in the market that's left in their wake. You're seeing it in gaming right now as well. Again, what's becoming the most popular games in recent memory? They're all Chinese made. Like, that's the thing that's sweeping in. That's where you get your First Descendant, Once Human, Black Myth Wukong. Now, again, there's nothing saying that they're bad games, but this is what they're doing in order to take the market. Japan is the first one that's figured this out, and the Japanese companies are pissed, which is why a lot of Japanese companies are hammering harder on their Western branches that are trying to push this diversity crap, because they know it's a disgusting disease that will destroy their company. Now, Sony has the opposite problem because Sony moved its main headquarters to the United States, So the main branch is now in the U.S. and the side branch is now in Japan. The side branch is freaking the fuck out and trying to get the main branch to wake the fuck up. But it's not it's not working. Yep, basically what Threadnought said. Sabotaging the companies of every other country in order to buy their way in and dominate through economics. Yep. Like I said, I don't fear anything from China when it comes to militarily, right? The Chinese military is an embarrassment and a joke. The Chinese economy in and of itself is also an embarrassment and joke. However, China understands economics a lot better than most people think. And that's what they're going to use to destroy other countries. They're going to use economics against them. Yeah, exactly. Robust, exactly. Again, the home branch, which originally started Sony, is freaking the fuck out and trying to get Sony California to wake the fuck up. Like, stop trying to destroy our country. Or stop trying to destroy our country, our company. I would argue the same thing, but, you know, Japan wouldn't be that self-interested in the United States. Oh, exactly. Again, but who funds BlackRock, Abysmal? That's my point. China. China is one of the biggest contributors to BlackRock. So, China is using these companies' greed to destroy themselves, and then China swoops in to buy into the market. Excuse me. Yeah, so you can see it as like a similar thing to what Meraxis is doing, right? He's intentionally overvaluing a self-destructive or negative in an economy, and then he's going to take the bottom out from underneath it so that it collapses. And then that will have a domino effect and destroy the rest of the economy. Very effective way to do damage to a hostile kingdom without actually having to get your people involved. And this is why China is doing something similar, because China, the top of the Chinese governance, Xi Jinping, he's a ruthless dictator, to be sure, but I wouldn't call him stupid, right? I'm pretty sure he knows that his military is the most incompetent military on the planet, right? That his regional governors are completely idiotic and corrupt. I'm pretty sure he knows. If not, I'd be mind blown that he doesn't understand that. Because remember, China is a country that's all about facade. And I'm pretty sure Xi Jinping understands that his country is all about faking it at all times. Like, you have the Redditors, and of course they're Redditors, so they're idiots. But Redditors posting the pictures of, like, this is the Chinese mega solar farm. If China can do it, why can't the United States? And it's like, I guarantee you, every single one of those solar panels is fake. I guarantee you. How do I guarantee that? Because China, rather than actually planting cotton fields to make cotton to go into their factories, will instead go out into the fields and stick rebar in the fields and then glue rocks to the top of it and paint the rocks white so that it looks like cotton fields from satellite imagery. China, instead of working on its pollution or trying to fix up how green its country looks to basically make more parks and everything, will instead hire massive trucks filled with green paint and will spray the sides of the road to look like green grass instead of being the horrific, brown, disgusting, dying grass that it is. Like, this is what China does. China, instead of having a forest, will instead have roads where 100 feet from the road, they'll have trees, all of these trees, up to the road, 100 feet in, and then the trees stop because everything else has been clear cut away. It's all facade. It's all fake. But the thing that isn't fake is bringing in Western money and leeching off of Western economies. So, if you can force Western companies to commit seppuku, willingly especially, is even better. But if you can force them to commit seppuku and then you swoop in and buy into that market, doesn't matter how flimsy your goods and money are, if you can just force your way into that market and then get a share there, you now take from the Western economies into your economy. Yeah, I agree, Bismal. I agree. But they do have some grass. When you see it before it's painted, though, it's like Fallout fucking 3, where it's obviously unhealthy, dying grass. It is wild. It is incredibly wild how far they go. This is why there are entire massive cities in China that are built where not a single person lives, and then those cities collapse in on themselves. Because China just needs its construction companies to continue doing stuff. Because if they're continually building stuff, it doesn't matter if they're building useless nonsense. It doesn't matter. They can still write on the report, the construction company is still constructing things. Right? Oh yeah, I do agree they're neat. Like the massive ghost cities, they're kind of neat from like a dystopian nightmare stance, right? The urban decay explorers essentially. They're neat in that regard. They're horrifying for what they represent, but they're neat in a regard of like whenever you watch those YouTube videos of urban explorers, they're that kind of neat. Going through urban decay is definitely one of those like what I find more fascinating and creepy horror in massive air quotes, because it's an existential dread, right? When you go through what were once like bustling factories that employed hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people, and you go into those factories now and it's all rusted, abandoned, falling apart. You hear the whine of everything as it's like settling under its own weight. Very, very fucking cool. We actually had one. Shit. I can't tell you that. I almost doxed myself. But there was a big industrial complex nearby that was like that. It was a big industrial complex, employed tons of people for multiple cities here, and then it went under. And we could actually explore it. Some of my friends would mostly do it. I will admit I was not as brave as a little hatchling or a whelp as my friends were, but I also didn't have horrific accidents there when they were going through it, because that place had like open pits filled with acid and chemical baths and everything all over the place, big old catwalks and everything that were barely holding on would collapse under people's weights and stuff. It was a total fucking disaster, right? It was a hazard, but they couldn't, like, they also couldn't do cleanup operations on it because of all the chemical waste and everything everywhere. It was one of those, like, we want to clean it up, we want to demolish it, but we can't because there's just chemical stuff everywhere, and we can't ask the company to do it. The company went under. They can't. The company doesn't exist anymore. It folded. Yep. Yeah, that's why I can't talk about. I wanted to make mentions of it, but it's kind of like a urban spooky place here where I'm at to go to the old chemical complex, or not chemical, the industrial complex. They used a bunch of chemicals. That's why there's chemicals everywhere. Yeah, my friends were braver whelps and hatchlings than I was, and they also got hurt a lot more. I was very thankful that I made it past whelphood to still have the functionality of both my eyes. Thank you very much. Yeah, urban spooky death trap. That's essentially what it is, and that's been that way. God, that's been that way for. It's been over 3 decades now. Good lord. Good lord, I'm old. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, chat. And then I think I kind of, maybe we'll watch like a YouTube short or something when I get back. Just something funny. So I will be a moment. Alright, I'm back. I exist. Oh my god. It was a bit touch and go there. I was a bit worried, not gonna lie. Oh my goodness. Yesterday, after the stream, spent some time doing more writing, obviously, on the book. Then went and went for a bit of a road trip, met up with my dad, and we went to a Chinese buffet real quick just to have some food. It was good food. Oh man, have I got myself the gas after that? Good Lord. Got the gas. Okay. So,
Gideon, who was the last?
Oh, nope. Started off immediately, damn. It was a crime. I had a succulent Chinese meal. That man touched my penis. Get your hand off my penis, sir. Oh God, if you've never seen that, that is definitely one of the greatest ones of all time. Hang on a second. Let's see. What one do I want? Chinese buffet. Every Chinese place I've ever been to had massive servings. Yeah, that's why Chinese buffets are actually more popular. Ironically, because people will eat less food at a Chinese buffet than when they get a normal Chinese meal. So you actually make more money in a weird roundabout way. Because Chinese restaurants are more about proportions, so you'll get some pretty big proportions. So, for example, if I go to the Chinese restaurant here and order, I'll actually get a really nice full meal, right? But if I go to the Chinese buffet, like I already know the game. I already know the sort of like dealio here. So I'll eat my more than my share in money at a buffet. But most people, they don't, and they'll get suckered in, and they'll get certain things that'll fill them up real quick. All right, let's see. I'm gonna do this one. This is one of my favorites. There we go. All right. Here we go. Let's put this up here. Perfect. Okay. So I've done lots of little shorts from these guys. I've been enjoying a lot of their stuff. They have problems with progressing campaigns, right? But it's because they're having so much fun. So these are Legends of Evantris. I've fully completed their Stardust Rhapsody and Icebound chapters so far. There's more coming. At least I hope so in Stardust Rhapsody's case. I haven't heard anything about it. But the new Icebound episode, I believe, is coming out. They're going to stream the new one this Sunday. So I'll be able to watch that. But I've loved Icebound. That has been one of my favorite ones. Derek as a DM is utterly... Derek is my style of DM, right? Eccentric to a fault. Goes into totally autistic detail on different things. And has a very, very... well thought out world and setting. Right, that's the kind of DM that I like and that I want that I always try to be. So yeah, very much appreciate him. The normal one they have that DMs a lot is Nikki. Originally it was Mikey. Mikey was the kind of forever DM, right? But Nikki's kind of taken over duties as forever DM. Personally speaking. And again, I'm not saying anything it's going to sound insulting, but I promise I'm not trying to be insulting. I think Nikki is better as a DM than they are as a player. And specifically in the Icebound campaign. in Icebound, I don't know, it just feels like a lot of times Nikki doesn't want to be there because Icebound is a very serious, like, campaign. The entire premise of Icebound is that it's essentially related to the Franklin expedition, right? It's been inspired by, loosely so, the Franklin expedition. And so it's all about hardcore survival in a winter, like, hellscape. Like, ice hellscape. The great white nothingness. Oh, God, throat demons. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. Whew. Excuse me. My apologies. That's why I kind of find it, like, she feels like it seems like she doesn't want to be there sometimes. She'll have moments she picks up. Again, I'm not trying to be insulting. This is just how I feel looking at it. She's a lot more animated into it, obviously, when she's a DM. But that's just me. I also want Mace to be more assertive in it, but because I like Tai Shen. Tai Shen's one of my favorite characters in Icebound. I have a whole theory about it as well, too, that I kind of hope that Mace will lean into. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he's that kind of person, but I kind of want him to, because I think it would be a fascinating idea with Derek as the DM, because Derek's DM style, very intricate and immaculate. I love his DM style. Anyways, let's watch some shorts from Legends of Adventurous, shall we? Let's have ourselves a good old time. Can I full screen this? No, I cannot. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just watch it as is. All right. So here we go. I'm going to switch this over. Whoop. Here we are. All right. So this is the Witchlight Carnival, which is their campaign is called Once Upon a Witchlight, right? This is him in the Witchlight Carnival, and he gets a particular curse from the DM. I want to say this is when he makes a special deal, because there's another one that's really fucking good where Gricko makes a deal. Gricko's played by Mikey. This is Mace, and he's playing Gideon. But here we go.
Every time you laugh in real life, you take 1d6 damage.
Oh my god. No, that's not possible. I will never laugh again. I'm going to be a consummate professional.
And, you know, see, I don't want to watch out for that gas.
Oh, someone is the culprit here. You are now a noir detective.
This won't be funny at all.
I watched as Remy stubbed his toe in that ottoman. And I knew.
By the way, that's Derek. The guy playing, this is Morning Frost. Morning Frost is now a noir detective. That is Derek. Derek is so good at improv and comedy because he actually went to a clown school. I kid you not, I shit you not. He actually went to clown school. He understands how to do improv and comedy so fucking well. So fucking well. I'll go back a little bit. But part of his prompt is the fact that he's just on the verge of sneezing, but he can't quite sneeze either. Right? His character has the prompt of he's a noir detective, and he's on the verge of sneezing, but he can't actually sneeze.
I watched as Remy stubbed his toe in that ottoman. And I knew. I reached for my revolver.
You look like you're in some pain.
There's actually like 20% chance you enjoy the process.
Kermic's never felt that way before. Oh yeah, don't stop.
Clear it. I'm in the danger zone.
Every time you
Oh,
laugh
shit.
in real life, you...
All right, there we go. Yeah, I like Legends of Adventurous for stuff like this, right? And they actually have really good campaigns. Again, I think Derek is one of my favorite DMs, followed closely by Mace. I think Mace is really good as a DM. I really, really like Stardust Rhapsody. It's probably of all the campaigns, it's my favorite just to watch, Stardust Rhapsody. Icebound is my favorite because it's so well thought out and intricate. Icebound is probably my like go-to campaign. If I would recommend anybody watch any campaign, it'd be Icebound. But I'm also a big fan of the Terror and everything, so you know it's kind of my deal. I like that hardcore survival, right? Let's see, that one's the most famous one. I won't do that one. I mean, I guess we can do this one for Stardust Rhapsody. And this is kind of why I like Stardust Rhapsody so much. Hold on a second.
You know what they...
I wish I could, like, it wouldn't autoplay the moment you did it, right? But here you go.
You know what they say? What's good for the robotic basset hound is good for the hippopotamus, snake, space clown, living ooze, and robotic pug. The classic saying, Red.
I know you are a space clown, but now is not the time for jokes.
There's always a time for jokes.
Also, I like... Why is this like this? Is this just a new thing that YouTube's done? I don't get it. I don't get why that's like that. Also, I want to get rid of the... There we go. Perfect. Okay.
Why did the mermaid wear seashells? She grew out of the bee shells. Oh my!
I propose that we kill shekels.
I'm in.
Oh yeah, my partner has been watching these guys for nearly a year and only told me about them recently. I felt betrayed. Loving the Witchlight stuff, though. Witchlight is fun because I like Creme de la Creme. Biased, I know, but I like Creme de la Creme a lot. Well, howdy do. I'm Creme de la Creme, and I've got a deal for you. Roll at advantage. But Witchlight, I'm okay on it. I like it a lot. It's definitely a lot of fun. But if I'm talking about what I want to watch particularly, if I just want to have fun, Stardust Rhapsody is just a pure blast all the way through. Mace is a fantastic DM for this style of adventure. Same with Uprooted. Uprooted is fantastic. Dimwits of the Dimwood is so fucking funny. Holy shit. And we'll do some Uprooted ones as well. But what makes these guys so good is, one, that they actually RP in the characters, right? You're not always going to have that as a D&D group. You're not going to have where everybody's there to roleplay in their character, correct? Or, right? And they also are good at improv. Their whole thing is yes and, which is the #1 rule in improv, yes and. Or if you have a way to change it, you can spin it. It doesn't have to be yes and, but yes and is a perfect first step for improv because then you can build off of things. But so a way you could change it would be like, well, remember last time we put you in charge of going to get pizza, you took out 15 stop signs and then had to tell the police, you had to tell the police that you thought they were bad guys or whatever. Then instead of doing yes and, or be like, that was the one time, so like, you'd be like, no, that wasn't me. You were thinking about him. Like, remember, I had to go pick him up from the incident. I got involved and my name got put down because he gave them my name. Again, that's a way to do without doing yes and while still continuing it, while having a counter to it to be like, no, that's not my characterization. However, I was involved in the situation you're talking about. I was just involved in another roundabout way. That allows you to continue building on it instead of just negatively impacting it. Yes and is great for continuing out arcs and storylines. And that's what everybody at Legends of Adventures does. They're very much the yes and group, which is fantastic.
Boo, stop being such a good dude. Oh, just 2 more concoctions, sure, if we have time. Take some of these ingredients. I have no idea what any of this does. Ooh, fizzy. Oh, how do I get that up? Here's a little bit of honey, a little bit of mustard. Mustard! Mustard? Let's not be silly. Lemon, on the other hand.
There's a yellow mustard container floating.
Yeah. You know what they say?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Stardust Rhapsody. He is a Motlian, so he is a human that went through the Discordance and he became a space clown. Like, he can't take off any of this stuff. That's his skin and everything now. And so his entire life now, from that point onwards, is just a total clown show at all times. But he also points out how horrific that is. But here we go. Here's Uprooted. And this is, if you just want a campaign of just silliness and absurdity, this is how I would recommend. I would recommend anybody watches Uprooted. It's so fucking funny. But this is probably the most infamous Uprooted clip there is. By far.
Bitsy.
Yeah?
You told us that your town was going to kick you out forever, and you don't even seem upset about that.
They keep asking me to leave, and I didn't leave, and then they were going to tell me to kick out, and then I was going to be kicked out, and I was like, I don't want that to happen.
By the way, this guy right here, same guy that was playing the noir detective. This is Derek's character. This is how good Derek is at coming up with like alternate characters and everything, and then having them have wildly different personalities. Is this one too low? Oh, that one went real low. Yeah, that's weird. Hang on, we'll start this over. I don't know why that one went so low. But yeah, so Derek, the same guy that played the Tabaxi noir detective, this is his character as well.
Bitsy.
Yeah?
You told us that your town was going to kick you out forever, and you don't even seem upset about that.
They keep asking me to leave, and I didn't leave, and then they were going to tell me to kick out, and then I was going to be kicked out, and I was like, I don't want that to happen. Why?
Why were they going to kick you out?
Because they don't understand the difference between lemons and lemon juice.
What?
It's a long story. You wouldn't understand.
I'm really trying here.
If they had to kick you out because they didn't understand the difference between lemons and lemon juice, we might have to kick you out if we don't understand the difference between lemons and lemon juice.
Well, the one is the lemon, and then the other's like a liquidy juice type. They kept saying that one came from the other, and that's horseshit.
Clearly, the juice comes from the lemon, but once you squeeze the juice out of the lemon, it
This is
stops
what they
being a
kept
lemon.
saying. That doesn't make any sense. I don't have any lemons on me, but if you squeeze that lemon in lemon juice, I wouldn't.
All right, when we get to Click Clock, I am going to blow your mind.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is Bitsy. That was the world's like first introduction to how unhinged and mentally unstable Bitsy is. And again, that's Derek's character. Derek has some of the funniest characters. He played LaBouche, who was that slime monster. He was Morning Frost, the Tabaxi noir detective in that other clip. He's really good at it. And again, he has lots of physical comedy as well, right? So he knows a lot of like different tricks of the trade. For example, how to sound like you have an actual broken nose and you're trying to reset it. And it's you take your thumbs and you stick them in your mouth with your fingernails on your thumbs rubbing against the backsides of your teeth, and then you'll draw your thumbs forward, and that sounds like bones being like cracked and reset in position. At the same time, you hide it with your hand by covering your nose, right? Your nose is covered, your thumbs are in your mouth, you draw them forward and move your hands around to act like you're resetting your nose, and it sounds like you're breaking your nose back into position. It is horrific sounding. But he knows all kinds of like little comedy and sound effects and tricks like that. It is real good. Let's see. What's another good one? I want to find the Calling My Agent one. That one's pretty good. That's from their Christmas one-shot, which was probably one of the most unhinged D&D adventures I have ever seen. Granted, the breaking the fourth wall one was also absolutely hilarious. Where is it? I must have scrolled past it. I know I did at some point. Oh, here we go. Calling my agent. Here it is. All right. So for this one shot, they got pretty much all of the goofiest characters together to essentially try to save Decemberween. Oh, I think it was Decemberween, or it was something like that. Yeah, we're talking about this is where Unhinged went to went to a whole new level. That entire, if you want to watch a single one shot, that is one of the funniest and most unhinged, crazy, like whack job D&D sessions ever seen. Watch the one shot for Legends of Evantris for Decemberween.
You should call our agent.
Oh, who's our agent?
Yo, Jerry. Yeah, there's like a strange mystery, and I think that we need to solve it and save Decemberween.
Ask him if there's any updates on me getting on Witchlight.
Any word from Once Upon a Witchlight about Bitsy joining? No, I know she's right next to me. Right next to me. Okay, cool. We're probably just gonna bag this whole rest of the thing and save Decemberween. Okay.
Did Bad Dragon have any feedback on the photos I sent them?
Oh no, he's gotta go. He's gotta go get things.
What?
Okay.
It's been months.
What's the word?
He died 10 years ago. You should call her.
Oh my god. What do you mean? What do you mean he's busy? It's been months. It's been months. Oh my god. Seriously, you should watch the Decemberween. Like, it's a one shot. So it's all, there's no other like storylines or anything like that. It is a one shot that completely goes so unhinged and off the rails. It is so fucking good. Let me get the other most famous one from that one shot. Yeah, when the party breaks the DM. Here we go.
Children.
All right. Do that again. Don't know why the sound is so low. Here we go.
Children have been going missing. It could be Gorilla of the Woods.
There's a wild gorilla on the loose.
I'm not saying gorilla. I'm saying gorilla.
Is it a charcoal gorilla or a cocaine gorilla?
Story goes that she eats children.
You probably shouldn't let us in if children are going missing. We're just gonna make it worse.
Now she's extra dangerous because she's using gorilla tactics.
I fear the Winter Queen might not show up for the crowning.
Yes, and also I think there's gonna be a gorilla.
Oh. The shorts make it so much funnier because of the facial expressions. However, you can see all the players and they have all kinds of facial expressions they're doing as well. Oh, it's so fucking good. Oh.
Was that the gorilla on the loose?
It's not gorilla! I hate to tell you this, but gorilla.
Gorilla.
Children.
I wish it would have done the rest of what Richie was saying. Grilla, anything but Grilla, please. Oh. See, this is one of those ones where the animation is great. the original version of it is also fantastic. The original version is so fucking good. I don't know if I can find the original version. The original version is just like incredible. I do want to show some of the Strahd ones though as well, because the Strahd ones are fantastic. Alright, this one, the animation for it is good, but I kind of want to show the original here as well. We'll do both of these.
Think about the time.
This is again, this is Once Upon a Witchlight, and they have to make a deal, and so he has to make a pact to give up something, and he's going to pay the ultimate price in his pact.
Think about the time that we learned the decision-making framework when we met the Sugandis.
Who are the Sugandis, man?
The Sugandis nuts.
All I require is your greatest joke. I already have a joke in mind.
Oh, which one?
The one that DM hates the most.
But I was saving for the grand finale.
Rico can never again make a D's nuts joke.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't too bad a price. For me, I thought that I was gonna have to become a mind goblin.
What's a mind goblin? Rico, what's a mind goblin, man? Help me out. I've never heard of it.
Psionic.
I don't understand, man. But like, finish the thought. Why would you ask me what's a mind goblin if you can't articulate what's a mind goblin? You run into that, like, is that what Glorbo was? Is Glorbo a mind goblin?
A single tear will run down my cheek. Think about it.
Yep, he can no longer make a D's nuts joke. Oh, and this is why Legends of Evantris, why I like watching them so much, because they're so good at improv and the comedy of it, right? So the same thing here. Mace was in on the joke, like Mace is in on it, but his character Gideon doesn't get it, right? His character Gideon doesn't understand. Mace understands it immediately. That's why he did that little chuckle snort before he asked, who are the Sugandis? But yeah, you have stuff like this where it's just so natural for them. It's so fucking good. Hold on a second. There we go. This one's good. You have the ability to break the fourth wall.
You develop the ability to break the fourth wall. You are now able to start addressing the DM directly.
Angela, I gotta say, I think we've all had enough of Morgo.
What's wrong? Who's Angela?
And why are you talking directly into that wall right now?
1, 2, 3.
We all gotta be nice too.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Ribble was nice.
How did you get that information?
Frosty was always everyone's least favorite character.
That's a hurtful thing to say.
But you know what? He's my best lad.
I'm standing right here.
My best mate. And a raid is here.
What kind of raid?
They're on Twitch, and there's a whole bunch of people who are new to our channel.
Ribble doesn't understand any of those words in that order.
Oh my god. God, that's... Fake curses are such a good idea. Holy shit. Genuinely, fake curses have some of the funniest repercussions that you can imagine. Alright, let's see. I want to do a couple of them that are from Curse of Strahd. Technically Curse of Stradania, but, that's their take on it. They Curse of Strahd. Instead of having it be Count Strahd, it's Countess Stradania. So that way they could do a little bit more interesting things with the campaign. They didn't have to be exact 1-to-1. They could go off and do their own things and have weird things happen. I'm actually shocked that nobody has like animated the doll one, because holy shit. Yeah, exactly. It is so fucking good. But here are two ones from Curse of Strahd. And how it ends up. The basic premise for their campaign is that they're on an expedition for the college, for the university. And so you have the professor who gathers up with his assistant, Victoria. They gather up kind of a group to come together, and they're going to search for oh no. I just realized Bavaria is one of the kingdoms in my setting. I just realized, is Bavaria one of the things in Curse of Strahd? Oh no. Shit. I'm gonna have to rename my country. Fuck. I don't wanna. It'll just has to be a thing. That's okay. They're looking for it, and they actually make it. Oh no, Barovia is what they call it here. Whew! Close. We're right there. We're close. Barovia is what it's called. Whew. Yeah. So these two are from their campaign, and it's kind of setting. Yeah, really do. I really do. Here we go.
Take it with us? You don't mean out of this room.
I do mean out of this room.
And who the fuck do you think's gonna carry it?
I think that he intends for you to carry it.
I certainly hope someone's gonna volunteer to...
I'll run over.
Thank you, Kana. One more, anybody?
It's difficult for me to get a grip while I hold the lens.
Sarnak, get the fuck over here. On the count of 3.
Sarnax and Shepard. So this is Sarnax. He's played by Mikey. Shepard is played by Andy. Their adventures together is so fucking good. They are probably one of the best dynamic duos in Curse of Stradania there is. The things that they get up to are wild. It is so fucking funny. Shepard is the kind of he's the like lawful good monster hunter ranger, and Sarnax is a light cleric cultist of Garrix, who is a dragon with red and gold scales. That his philosophy is to burn the entire world and regrow a new one, a better one from its ashes. So basically, his whole thing is death and renewal. So he is a cult member of this dragon cult, and he is kind of like so socially awkward. It's just hilarious. Whenever they accidentally have Sarnax go and be the one that interacts with other people, it is so fucking good. But Sarnax and Shepard kind of have like a brotherly bond with each other throughout their adventures and their usual misadventures, especially if the party separates and these two are together. Like, wild shenanigans are going to happen.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Through the door. No, to the left. No. Okay.
Pivot! Mind your finger, Shepard, on the door frame.
Damn it! Oh, you're right. Damn!
No, if we tilted this way.
Got me.
Put your damn lantern down, Sarnax.
Not too quick. I'm walking backwards.
All right, almost through. Oh no! Stop! Take a rest.
Oh, God.
That was tough for my one arm.
I want to go to sleep.
We're almost there. Are you feeling
Great work,
regenerated?
Good hustle.
Regenerated?
I mean, like, are you ready to pick this back up?
Again, the DM not involved in this whatsoever. These are kind of the shenanigans they get up to on their own. They'll just do these kind of things.
All right, piddly.
All right, here we go. Another one that also kind of highlights Sarnax and Shepard and their kind of like interactions with each other as well.
All right, Piddlewick, please, quickly, if you could.
Naughty, naughty. You don't want me to lead you astray.
Roll dexterity saving throws for me, please.
Oh.
Shepard, you are pushed down a flight of stairs,
Son of a...
taking 21 points of damage.
Shepard!
Was it like 30 flights?
Sarnax, a tiny dagger embeds itself into your abdomen. You take 21 points of piercing damage.
Could I intervene said dagger?
You are able to take the damage as you rush in front of the...
Sarnax, be careful.
Get down, Mr. President. You always have to save your cleric. Your cleric is the one thing that ensures your survival in all situations. If you must sacrifice for your cleric, you will sacrifice for your cleric.
Did you just attempt to stab my cleric?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That almost
We're taking
hit.
this hallway now.
Someone important almost got hurt.
I'm glad we're just brushing over the fact he pushed me down 35.
Can't help you there.
I don't need your sympathy.
Definitely.
I'd like to go help Shepard out.
It's too late for that, sorry. I know that you don't really care about me.
Shepard, I'm sorry. I had a near daggered experience. Thank goodness Kana just got stabbed instead of me.
Yes, thank goodness.
Oh my god. Again, biased, but thus far, Sarnax is my favorite character. Shepard is a close second. I actually like the Professor a lot as well. But Sarnax is my favorite because he's so awkward socially. It is a fantastic time. If he's ever doing any of the interacting, my god. But I don't want to sacrifice for my cleric. He owes me money. Yeah, but he's also the guy that can revive you and save your life. So, sacrifice for your cleric. Okay. Wonder if there's one where Derek shows off some of his capabilities. Oh, I gotta find the one where Morning Frost thinks he's a vampire. Hold on. That's a fantastic one. Because then you also get to see Derek, his acting capabilities and everything. Hold on. I'm pretty sure they have that one linked from their Discord. Hold it. Going for it. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's here. That's the blanket that made Nikki cover her head. Oh, I can't find it. Damn, I was trying to find it. It's so fucking good. As an artificer, I can just set aside a scroll and get a trained follower to use it, and I can do it for the cleric for a price. It's funny you say that. Shepard in Curse of Strahdanya, he uses 2 artificer guns. They were created for him by the Doctor. But that's his character. So he's a ranger that gets a dual shot artificer pistols. Man, I'm bummed out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Oh, here we go. I found it. Okay. Here we go. So, one of the fake curse that Morning Frost got was that he believes he's a vampire. So here we go.
I am a vampire.
No, you're not.
I'm an immortal.
No.
I am a creature of the night.
No. But you told me that if you ever did this again, I was supposed to tell you no. Nuh-uh. No, you're not.
But it's for your own protection so that I wouldn't drain you of the blood in your body. Your delicious,
Then
delicious
do it,
blood.
Frost. Bite me and
I'm not
prove
going to.
it.
Don't tempt me.
Bite me and
Don't
prove
tempt
it.
me, Twig. I will. You've left me no choice. Ah! Shh, it'll all be over soon. Now that I've fed on you, you can feed on me. We could be immortal together for eternity.
Torbeck's quietly sobbing in the corner.
Gid, would you kindly please punch Frost until he goes to sleep? I'm going to bed.
I'm gonna put you to bed so fast. I'm gonna tuck you in. I'm gonna read you a night book. You're going to bed. You're gonna see stars.
I'm going to bed. You really don't need to.
This place is tearing us apart!
Oh my god. That reaction right there. Again, Derek is so good at physical comedy. His capability of cutting himself off mid-speech and his reaction as if he is actually getting punched and his lights are going out is so fucking good.
You're gonna see stars.
I'm going to bed. You really don't need to.
This place is tearing us apart!
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I would say if there was one character I was most if there was one player and character I'm most impressed by, it would be Derek. I love all the cast of Legends of Evantris, but again, Derek, his DM style is very much near and dear to my heart. He's very, very meticulous. Goes into autistic detail, which I personally appreciate. Good example was they were fighting on a trolley. I'm using it as an example. I don't want to spoil too much, but they're fighting on a trolley, and one of the characters, they're all tied to the trolley, but this character gets knocked off of the trolley, and he's now being dragged. And Derek giddily comments on the fact that, he just stayed up just on the case that somebody might fall off this trolley and be dragged behind it, so he made entire mechanics for being dragged behind a trolley during a fight. So he had rule sets and everything all ready to go on the chance that the characters might tie themselves to the trolley and might also be thrown off said trolley and be dragged behind it. That is a level of tism that I can bow to. That is fantastic. Apparently, Derek and Andy are also their lead writers and everything when it comes to their modules. So, they've created the Twisted Moon or the Cursed Moon. You see, the Crooked Moon. That's what it's called. The Crooked Moon. They're the ones that are behind writing up and doing all the stuff for a Crooked Moon. So yeah, very, very impressed with them. So that was Legends of Evantris. I highly recommend it. It has been an enjoyable ride to go through and watch. Like I said, I'm watching Curse of Strahdanya now from the beginning. I have finished Icebound and I have finished Stardust Rhapsody. Loved both of them. I've started bits of Once Upon a Witchlight and Uprooted, but I kind of want to focus on one down, so I'm working on Curse of Strahdanya. Yeah, take care, Sir Reginald. Yeah, you missed it. We had a bit of fun. Talked more about the book, obviously, and we did some YouTube shorts at the end. I will link to, actually, I can just link to their channel right now, right? Let's go to home.
Who was the last person you killed?
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm just going to link to their channel here in both Twitch and YouTube. Let's go ahead and do that right now. All right. Anyways, chat. I want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. It is greatly appreciated. We'll have more just hangout streams where we talk about the books and writing and everything like that again. We'll do that more in the future. Tomorrow for Saturday Showtime, if you want to be in the Discord, if you want a free movie every Saturday, join the Discord. That's all you got to do. So for Saturday Showtime tomorrow, we're watching Rush Hour 3. I don't remember a single thing about the movie whatsoever. Don't remember it at all. So we'll see how that is. We'll see if it's kind of meh or what it is. And we'll go from there. Then next Saturday, we'll be watching the Jackie Chan movie Wheels on Meals, which I've never seen before, but apparently it is highly recommended. So we'll watch that for kind of a closing out our Jackie Chan block. And then we go into Spooktober with a bunch of horror movies. I have no idea what horror movies we're going to do. I know we're going to do Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, because that's a yearly classic to do, but I have no idea what else we'll do. The Drunken Master, I guess I could bleed into Spooktober a bit, and we could do Drunken Master as well, because that is a really good one. Yeah, in the meantime, though, chat, if you guys take care, have a fantastic day, stay safe and healthy, get fit, get ripped, and I will see you back here on Monday. Bye-bye for now. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.